Welcome back, everybody, or if you're first time, welcome. But we're gonna get going. Now, I know last time I had us do some neck rolls, there was some discussions about how that's not good for fusions, and I've spoken to an orthopedic surgeon who's a quadriplegic, and we all have to know ourselves, but neck rolls are not inherently bad. So we're gonna start with some neck rolls and just slowly to the right. That was one thing that was really cool when I went to the Peloton thing is this guy, Dr. O, who he's an orthopedic surgeon, who's quadriplegic. It was really cool getting to meet him and talk to him. He does work at UCLA and at Michigan. And I think I told you guys last time he recently was awarded $1 million from Good Morning America for the work that he does. All right, let's switch directions back to the right now, or I was going to the right, now go to the left.
Oh, he obviously must have good hand function.
So I don't know that he does surgery, but he's trained as an orthopedic surgeon. But yeah, he is very incomplete. He might do surgery. I don't know. He functions very well. He got on the treadmill for a portion of the class because he can take steps. He's just much more efficient in his chair. Okay, that's good for that. Then we're just going to kind of stretch down for about 30 seconds. But he was, I'm not sure exactly how he had his accident, but he was at Stanford and he was a track star athlete. And then, he didn't, it's pretty impressive how some of these people don't let the injury slow them down at all. Sometimes it seems like it makes them gain speed. All right. Let's lean up now. Take our right arm across the chest.
Yeah, it's amazing what they do. I just got out of a meeting and the guy's a quad, 20-something years old at the gas station, filling up. He's sitting in his seat. The guy stuck a gun in the window and shot him in the neck. And now he's got a tourism business and everything going. I'm like, man.
Isn't that impressive?
Talk about bad luck though. Shit.
Yeah. I shouldn't get too political or anything, but I grew up hunting. I loved all the stuff I did with my great uncles and grandpa and dad and my brother. We shared great times living in Louisville, seeing the other side of guns and the violence.
Yeah.
We could go hiking, I guess. It's switch. Let's go to the other arm. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but there's too much gun violence, that is for sure. Whew. Man, my arms are tight. So I was saying earlier, I'm wearing a tank top today because I had an experiment at Fraser, and I think it's so cool, the research that they have going on there. And I was in a stepping study today where they used my epidural stimulator and transcutaneous stimulation, and I was able to lay on my side and take some steps. It's really interesting. All right, shake that out. And then we're going to bring our right arm. Now, this is kind of hard for me balance wise, but once I get it, there we go. But yeah, so his name is Yuri Gerasimenko, and he is a Russian scientist that splits his time between Russia and here. And he actually makes some of the transcutaneous stimulation devices that they use for the research here. But he got his start doing, he was stimming Russian astronauts like in the 60s to help them with bone density while they were part of the space program. And somehow he's translated that into working with the paralyzed population. Switch arms. But they rigged my legs up in this like gravity neutral eliminated device. So I look like a puppet kind of laying on my side. And then my legs are on these pulleys, so they're free to move. And then they turn the stimulation on. And I'll post a video of it, but it's pretty cool. It's not like normal stepping. You know, I look almost like a horse, you know, with my gait, but it's cool, you know, being able to move my legs, and, you know, hopefully they can figure it out and improve quality of life for all of us. All right. You're going to stretch to the right, twisting. Don't twist too far. I'm trying to be better about warming up and cooling down. I think that's something that can be really beneficial. All right, and then back to the left. My new supplement that I'm on is Tart cherries. You know, there's doctors that say that they use Tart cherry juice instead of pain pills and ibuprofen and stuff like that, and it's supposed to reduce inflammation. And I don't know. I've been trying it. It's also supposed to really help with sleep. That's why I originally started. I really suffer with my sleep. And my sleep has gotten better, but I've also been more intentional about my sleep. So who knows what the correlation is there. All right, now we're going to stretch down to the side here. But there's science that supports that the chemical in the tart cherry juice binds to free radicals in your body and helps reduce inflammation. And in studies, it's shown to help you sleep longer with less interruption. I figured it was worth a shot. All right, let's reach down to the left. I try to massage the tight muscles over here as I stretch down to the left. Kind of helps work them out. All right. And then let's go forward. Last stretch here. And when we're going forward, I don't know if you can see here, I try to get my elbows inside of my knees, and then I press against that, and I really get a good stretch all up through my lats as I stretch down. Oh, can't get to my toes, but I'm trying. All right. All right. Hopefully everybody's feeling warm. I'm about ready to lose my phone there. Let's get a drink of water if you got it, because we're going to go right into some cardio. But yeah, back to the question with my water. I put loops on everything. You know, my hands don't work, but I can clip my thumb under pretty much anything, you know, so my phone, my tablets, you know, everything you can. And I'll post a link to these too. These are just little stick-on loops. They're made for like when you're like the advertisement for them shows a guy like putting his GoPro on his motorcycle. And then this is just in case his GoPro comes off. But I just stick it to all my stuff so I can have loops, and then, you know, extra battery packs. It doesn't matter what it is, you know, little cases. I stick these on everything, and then I'm able to pick it up. And then I usually, you know, use my mouth, which is pretty disgusting, but you do what works, right? Okay. And we are going to start jogging in place. Just try to work through a good range of motion, warm yourself up. We're going to maintain this for about 3 minutes, so don't burn yourself out. It's low impact, feeling the range of motion, but not snapping, nothing violent, just nice and easy. But yeah, that experiment today was really, really cool. They cover me in electrodes, and then they put fine wires where they put a needle deep into my hip so they can read muscles deep down in my hip. Luckily, I can't feel it. Supposedly, it's not too painful, even if you can. But yeah, and then I was on my side, and like I said, it was, I do have the epidural stimulator that's implanted inside of me and on my spine. And then on top of that, they were using the transcutaneous stimulation. So they were trying to get the same effect that's implanted down around like L1. Then they put the electrodes up around C5 where my injury is. And it's supposed to encourage the signal from my brain to get through the damage in my spinal cord. And like I said, I wasn't taking normal steps. They didn't look good, but my legs were moving. So, and a lot of this stuff, I don't feel like, maybe someday it'll get to the point where people aren't needing their wheelchairs. For me, I look at it as a great way to stay healthier. Having the implant allows me to do the kinds of therapy where you need to put electrodes all over your body and takes forever to set up and tear down. I'm able to just flip on my tablet. So it's more, instead of a cure, I look at it as more of like mobile therapy, instant therapy whenever you want it. And then there are things that are like medication replacements. Like instead of blood pressure medication, I can adjust my blood pressure with my tablet. There's sleep settings that do help with sleep. But I don't look at it as a cure. I look at it more as, mobile therapy and a potential medication replacement. And it does make life better, but it's not curing anything yet. All right, keep it up. We got about 15 seconds to go. And take a break. Shake it out. Get you some water. Whew. Drinking as much water as I do find a lot of times that I flush out too many of my electrolytes. So I do have like some electrolyte replacement powders I put in my water a lot of times. It's just straight water right now, but it's called Drip Drop, and they make big packets. So I only need one of them for my big 64-ounce bottle. But, when I'm really drinking a lot of water, when I do my marathons, I got to have something more than water in there to keep my electrolytes up, something with a little carbs in there too. All right, hopefully everybody's recovered. Got the water. All right, now we're gonna do tricep dips or shoulder depression. So how I like to do these for myself is I'm gonna go leaning on my knees and coming back. If you have armrests, you can push down on that. If your triceps are good, find a place down on your chair. But we are just going to do shoulder depressions, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And we're going to do 3 rounds of it. So here we go. Shoulder depressions. Whatever your movement is, really trying to feel it in your arms. I really struggle with triceps. Sometimes they say I have trace elements of triceps. Sometimes they say I don't have any tricep function, but I'm trying to flex my triceps. That's next down the neurological chain for me. That's something I can try to work on. And so that's something I focus on, even if it's not working. All right, and take a little break, 30 seconds off, and then we're gonna go right back into some more shoulder depressions, tricep dips. That movement, getting stronger at that, whatever muscles you use to do that has been so big for me. It's allowed me some independence with transfers and stuff like that. So I need help every morning. I can't do my bowel program by myself. I figured out how to get shorts on, but it's not practical. It takes like 25 minutes and I'm worn out afterwards. But after I get dressed and my bowel program's done, I can be independent. I can take myself where I need to go in my chair. I can get food out in the community. I can heat up stuff. So, and I can put myself into bed, can't get myself going in the morning, but after that, I can take care of myself. All right, and let's go back into some tricep dips, shoulder depressions. One thing that has been really big for me, and this is only for the men out there, but I am on testosterone replacement therapy, and that has been huge for putting on muscle. I was lucky to be in a study years ago here at the University of Louisville where they were testing spinal cord injury patients' testosterone levels. And, I think normal for my age would be 600, 700, 800, somewhere around that range. I was like sub 100. Like, I joked that I was functionally female with my testosterone. But getting that replacement therapy in my system has been so huge. All right, let's take a 30-second break. When I first got on testosterone therapy, my upper body strength went up 400% in like 8 months. So, and that went from like bench pressing 8 pounds to like 35 pounds, so that's, in the world, that's getting the door open, that made a huge difference for me. So yeah, staying dedicated to the gym and
Make a difference for you
testosterone.
mentally,
Yes, it did.
motivation
they
and such.
Yeah, it was very motivating. Yeah, it was for sure. That was a boost mentally, absolutely. And not only that, but it works synergistically with other systems. And I still struggle with sleep, but before testosterone, I struggled with sleep a lot more. Endurance, stuff like that. It really made a difference across the board. So let's go into the last set of these. And originally for the study, I was on the cream, and obviously I saw improvements with the cream, but for like 4 hours, anybody that touches you is supposed to wear gloves. You have to be very careful around women and children. And just for my lifestyle, I feel like the injections work a lot better. Luckily, I don't feel my legs, so my wife can jab me in the leg once a week. I don't feel it. It keeps my levels more stable, and it's been working well for me. The only problem is I do have acne on my body, and that's a side effect, but it's worth it. All right, let's take a break. Get this put back up, get a drink of water if you need it. All right. Up next, we're going to roll into alternating curls. So let's try to push the intensity a little bit here, because we're going to do a couple short bouts of this. Almost there. Keep it up. little bit longer. All right, take a break. Only problem with the testosterone is it definitely shuts down your natural production. And my wife and I have started looking into fertility, and the doctor was like, "You're not giving me anything to work with." He's like, "Spinal cord injury, testosterone." He's like, "Come on, bro." Um, but it's something that it's curable, I guess. I just have to, for us to have a chance at conceiving, I'm going to have to come off of testosterone and for about 6 months get it out of my system. And there are different hormone replacements. I forget what it's called that you can go on to help out while you're missing the testosterone. But the testosterone on just completely shuts down sperm production. So FYI there. All right, back into alternating curls. Vitamin D is another supplement I really believe in. High protein diet, all about the high protein diet. Try to get 200 grams a day. So I need to be better about vegetables and fiber. But the high protein is really working well for me. All right, should be feeling this a little more than the last time. I know I am. Keeping that pace up. And break. Whew. I don't know if my catheter is getting kinked or if that's what's was getting just a little bit of AD there. I don't know about you guys, but that just kind of comes and goes throughout my day. And when it comes, I kind of look at my feet, check my catheter, tube, and then hope it passes. All right, one last set of alternating curls. I don't know if you guys have heard of athletic greens or AG1. That's something my wife and I take every morning. It's like a multivitamin in a drink. Tastes awful. That's not awful. It's just not great. Keep it up. But we put CoQ10, vitamin C, and then collagen in that. I'm just trying to stay on top of my supplements and vitamins so my body has everything it needs to try to kick ass. And let's take a break. Shake that out. Mm. 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 With all the exercising and stuff that I do, I really get a lot of pain right here in this region. And they call it either teres major, teres minor. It's kind of what I've been told that is inflamed. But I've really been dealing with it for a while. I've tried massage, I've tried stretching. I'm always stretching my wrist, and I got one of those massage guns. It's been like a life changer. I'm able, in this position, I'm able to get to it. And I don't know if you can see, I got like a red rash in there. I've just been hammering that massage gun. But man, that thing has made such a big difference. And you buy the massage gun once, I can do it myself. It's not like going to a massage therapist or something like that. It's a recurring cost. This is just something that I can do myself. And it's been great. I use that thing 3 times a day, before I work out, after I work out, and before bed. And that has made a huge difference for me. All right. Now we're going to go into some side leans. So 30 seconds all the way down, back up.
I don't get it. I'm a parent. You do better than I do doing that.
We all got our strengths and weaknesses.
I got a whole lot of the other side of the chair. I'll fall right over.
Well, that could be it there. I have a lot of support in the back of my chair. And at the end of my range here is at the end of where the side support is on my chair of the back. So yeah, I'm cheating. You just can't see. And let's switch to the left. Yeah. So really, I'm kind of pinned right above my belly button. I'm just working the top half. There's the dog feeder. And I know I compensate a lot, reaching, using my head and stuff like that, but I really try to focus on what's below my shoulders, even if it's all in my head. One of my doctors was telling me that something was all in my head, and I told him, well, that's about the realest place there is to me, doc. All right, let's take a 30-second break. All right. Man, when they get me in those experiments and they get all kinds of stimulation going, it really wears me out. The only way I can describe it is like if I have an emotional day, if something very emotional happens, that wears me out way more than any kind of workout, just that kind of tired. And that's kind of tired I get from these experiments. It's weird, they're in there with electricity, activating all sorts of muscles that I don't typically use. And it really kind of wears me out in a completely different way. All right, let's go back into leaning to the right.
Hey, Jared, is that a research hospital?
Yeah, Fraser Rehab here in Louisville. Dr. Harkema conducts research in conjunction with the University of Louisville down here in Kentucky, K-Shirk. I'm not sure what all the entities that are involved. And Dr. Bierman and Norton's are involved in the pediatric side. But yes, that's going on here in Louisville.
And it's a hospital.
Fraser Rehab, yes.
Fraser Rehab, okay.
Mm-hmm. If you guys, can send Liz a message or, get me a message somehow, and I can answer all these questions. I'll send you links to everything. That's my wife getting a Coke out of the fridge. All right, let's switch to the left. Just a little bit longer. We've earned another break. All right, 30 seconds break. Yeah, the testosterone study that I was involved in down here, that was down here, but that was also in conjunction with Kessler Hospital in New Jersey. And the head doctor from there would fly down here and meet with Dr. Harkema and talk about what was going on. And, there's really a lot of cool research that's going on here. And I've been talking to the people that conduct the research about how they need to advertise it more. It's really a gym in this city. And I feel like most people don't don't know about it. And that is 100% their fault because they don't advertise. All right. Last set of leans to the right. I'm really excited and all the training I have coming up for the potential marathons I'm going to do. Started looking into getting my own trainer, and these hand bike trainers like they have at CFW are $4,000 to $10,000, and I found one in Nashville for $400. So hopefully it all works out. I'm supposed to pick it up on Thursday. And let's switch to the left. Nothing will ever replace CFW for me. I love going there, but sometimes, it's really not appropriate for me to be camped out on the one hand cycle they have for, 3 or 4 hours. There's other people that need to have an opportunity to use it. So if I'm going to be doing these long training rides, I need to figure something else out. But I appreciate everyone at CFW being tolerant of me until I do figure it out. And let's take a break. I try to be as considerate as I can. Today I could tell when I was getting ready to get on the bike, and today I did like a 90-minute ride, but I could see there was somebody that was wanting to get on, so I just offered it up first. And luckily, she only wanted to ride for 10 minutes. So by the time I got done taking care of Belle and getting all set up, she was done with hers. So I try to be aware, and I keep looking over my shoulder. If somebody's waiting for it, I'll pause my ride. But I do camp out on that machine. All right. Let's go into some speed bag. 30 seconds forward. I lost my balance there. And I'm having some spasms. Push that forward and then reverse it. Keep it up. Almost there. And break. Get some water. And then we're going right back in 2 more rounds of this. I'm going to tilt my chair back just a little bit to help with my balance because I kept losing it there. All right, here we go. Almost there. Almost halfway there, I guess. And reverse it. Feeling the burn. And 30 seconds break. Fuel up. We got one more round. Man, shoulders are burning. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my low resistance long miles day. So I try to do 10 to 13 miles at a resistance of 8. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do resistance 10 and I do 45 minutes. And that usually gets me 5 to 7 miles. But today, man, I had good pace today. Just I'm wearing out. I'm going to go make out with my massage gun for about an hour as soon as we get done with this. All right, speed bag forward. Almost there. And reverse it. Some of you have some really good core stability, getting your hands up high. Keep it up. And break. Whew. Man. For a guy that gets told he doesn't have triceps at all, they sure burn. All right. Rest up, get some water. Next, we're gonna give the arms a little bit of break. We're gonna go into some twisting exercises. All right. I like to get my arms up just a little bit to clear my back rest. And we're stretching, working to the right. So, to the right. You know, again, I accomplish a lot of this by swinging my arms. And that's okay to initiate and make it happen. Let's try to focus on our trunk. Really bringing that right shoulder blade back, setting that scapula. You know, my therapists are always telling me to put my shoulder blade in my back pocket. Let's try that on the right side. However you activate it, however you keep it tight. All right. And we're going to switch to the left. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the crank cycle, but that is the cycle that I found in Nashville that I'm supposed to go pick up on Thursday. But it looks a lot like the SciFit that they have at CFW, except for it's a little lower tech, to be honest. It doesn't have any digital screen, doesn't have any programs, just has a manual knob to adjust it. And I'm hoping that equates to low maintenance. That's what my fingers are crossed for. Keep it up just a little bit longer. And break. Oh, the one that I've supposedly purchased, it doesn't have adaptable handles, but this is the cycle that they have, like 15 of them at Craig Hospital in Denver. And they have a little kit that they've adapted. And I've been talking to a physical therapist that works at Craig, And she said she'll send me pictures and help me out with the kit and everything. You know, I don't expect her to give me anything, but at least connect me with the people they buy it from. So I think it's just the same kit that I have for my hand cycle that allows me to connect to it. I think they just purchased that kit, but I'll see when she sends me pictures. So for, you know, $400, and then it'll probably be a couple $100 for the kit. Should be good to go training at home, which, you know, $600 isn't cheap, but I'm getting a $6,000 device. So, and it'll allow me to keep doing the marathons, you know. And what I really love about the marathons is all the money and awareness I raise for spinal cord injury. So hopefully I can expand on that. All right, back into some twisting. To the
Was
right.
your rehab at Craig?
Yes, my original inpatient was at Craig.
Nice.
And I've been back. Before I moved down here in 2015, and I was injured in 2011. But I used to go back to Craig every 6 months before I moved down here. And I'm still connected with my therapist and stuff at Craig. And through the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, you know, there's people with Craig that are involved. So try to stay current on what's going there.
Yeah.
I want to get back. You know, the research they have here in Louisville is unmatched, but they don't have the inpatient program like they have at Craig. Craig is really world renowned. You know, I tell people, you know, newly injured, they're like, oh my gosh, should we get down to Fraser? I'm like, no. I was like, you come to Fraser after you figured out how to be paralyzed and you're ready for research. Right now, you need to be at like Craig or Shepherd or one of the top facilities. Let's switch to the left.
That's so important for your future success too. If you don't go to the right kind of rehab, I mean, SCI is something that needs to go specifically to that kind, not something else. Like I went.
You're 100% correct. Yeah, you know, because
it was mental damage to me. You know, trauma because the way they don't know.
For sure, I can't imagine the frustration. Like I know the frustrations I had being at Craig. I can't imagine what it would be like somewhere else.
Yeah. I could never figure out why the staff and nurses were always going, thank you, thank you. I'm like, no, thank you. Now I know I was teaching them.
Right. All right,
Craig,
take a break.
So you like Craig?
I really loved Craig. Yes, it was a great experience. You know, yeah, I had problems with my hips that they couldn't figure out. I didn't appreciate Craig while I was there because I was so pissed off and thought nothing was good enough, you know. But in the subsequent years, I've really come to appreciate the groundwork that they set for just, you know, to accomplish anything, you have to have your health as well managed as it can be. And they really teach you how to take care of yourself. And I use their hotline still to this day. And you can hand the hotline out to anyone. They have a nurses hotline with spinal cord injury specific information, you know, nurses that work at Craig, and it's a great resource. So yes, I owe a lot of my current success to the groundwork that was laid at Craig, 100%.
Do you remember any effort given to the psychological aspect of it?
Yes, they gave a lot of effort. I gave zero effort.
Really, the psychological part?
Yes, I was not ready for it. I wasn't accepting things. I didn't need a shrink was kind of my opinion.
That's normal.
And yeah, but that really held me back. Because, you know, I have since seen a counselor and got help for that side of things, and it's necessary. You know, I was so focused on working in the gym that I didn't, you know, couldn't see the forest through the trees. But that is such an important aspect. You know, just as much as the physical aspect, you got to get the mental stuff taken care of, and all the guilt and anger and stuff that you harbor. You know, you don't need to spend your rest of your life pissed off about it. And if you talk to somebody, you can, you know, work on it. Not that I'm, you know, 100% okay with things, but I'm much better than I was before I talked to somebody about it. So
yeah, and the thing is you don't even know because you've never broke your back before.
Yeah,
never done this before.
For sure. Yeah, totally new to it, just trying to figure it out. So, all right, let's go into some running in place. We're gonna go 2 minutes, so let's pick up the pace a little bit from the jog.
I only say that because I'm gonna do my internships at Craig.
That's awesome. You're going to do an internship there?
Well, I'm going to go to University of Denver for rehab psychology for specifically SCI. And it's a mile from the campus. You know where I'm going.
Awesome. Yeah. Inglewood. Do you have contacts at Craig?
No, not so. I'm just now applying to the university. So
So I've
don't
been
worry,
meeting with
man.
Julie.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I've been meeting with Julie Hartman. That's part of the reason I'm going down to Nashville. She's got a little company on the side, and she's in charge of the Peak Center, the workout facility at Craig. I'll connect you guys via email. Shoot me a message, and that'll be a good way for you to get going at Craig. But yeah, I used to call Craig Disneyland for quads. I thought it was so much fun to go get in the exoskeleton or, the zero G thing, all the things that I didn't feel like were going to change my life. I think we've talked about before, but just as, again, the psychology of getting in those things, getting upright, seeing yourself standing, there's huge benefit to that.
Did you see a lot of people with paralysis as staff at all?
I did not see a lot. I saw some. Yeah. So, but no, not a lot. Terry Chase and her girlfriend Sharon was my pool therapist. Terry was in a chair, but she could stand pivot for transfers. Yeah, she's really the only one that stands out. There was a doctor, I guess, but I didn't see him very often. When you're inpatient, you're just kind of shell shocked. Things are kind of blur.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it, though. I think we should change the healthcare system where part of getting a physical release from the rehab, you should also have a psych eval checked off.
Absolutely.
Send too many people home who are not prepared for it, and they just melt and they end up killing themselves and everything.
Yep. If we don't go sepsis or die of pneumonia, we're probably going to kill ourselves if you want to look at the statistics.
Yeah.
Woohoo. No, but I think that's why I call, our channel Positively Paralyzed. It's to remind me, I have to, it's work to stay positive, and you have to remind yourself and you have to work at it. But life's better than when you're just a sour asshole, because I've tried both ways. All right, let's take a break.
Sour asshole. Funny. Sometimes I still can't handle the do-gooders who want to, oh my God, can I help you? Can I get the door? And back off,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I try to remind myself they're just trying to help, but it's like, look at me. No, leave me alone.
Hear me. Hear me. I had a dude at the bank 3 times. Give me the door. No thanks, I got it. No thanks, I got it. No thanks, I've got it. And the guy was insulted, the whole 9 yards. I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
They don't hear you.
Yeah. And then most of the time they end up making things more difficult. They're like trying to open both doors and create a little bridge for you to roll under. It's like, just get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, he stood right at the door and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. Like, you mean well, but you are slowing this down. Yeah. But that is the hardest part, is just not feeling heard, like we're both people. I said no. Have a good day. So, all right, we're going to go for some curls into overhead press, starting with the left. Maintaining this for about 30 seconds. That's what Hannah and I really love about New York, is nobody is overly helpful. Like, everybody is there if you need them. You ask them a question, they will help you, but they just mind their own business until you speak up. And that is something we really appreciate.
You notice a lot of it's generational. The older generation tends to be more ignorant about things.
I haven't noticed a generational thing.
All I know is where I live in the Northeast, it's you know, oh my God, a wheelchair, it's an invalid. It's the mentality of their generation. It's like, oh God, you know.
Yeah. And there are people that just assume that I'm not with it mentally when they come up to talk to me, and that's very insulting, but you know, they could be right. And let's switch
Eventually
to
they
the
will
right.
be. Eventually,
You know, right?
When you're in Dementiaville having fun, you know. Oh, look, someone just be on the floor. Who was that?
Yeah, it was you, Grandpa. Man. Hi, baby. Dog's needing some loving over here. All right, let's take a break. Do 2 more rounds of that. One thing that happens the most in Louisville is people like to stop and pray for me. That's what I've noticed about Louisville. And again, they mean well, but I don't like to stop for a few minutes and yeah.
Do they actually ask you, is it all right if I pray for you?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where they ask, but then they just start, you know. Yeah, can I pray for you? And then they put their hands on you and, oh Lord, and I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I have plans.
Well, you do look just a little bit like Jesus.
Yeah, because we all know Jesus was a white male, right?
That's right.
All right, so back into left hand overhead press. That's exciting. You're going to Colorado. You know, we looked at potentially moving there. There's a potential job opportunity at Craig. I am not envious of your cost of living.
Well, I'm just going to go to school there. So,
Yeah.
you know, I might lead to work at Craig. Who knows? But if they got enough rehab psychologists, I'll definitely go somewhere else where it's more needed.
But I mean, what better than a guy in a chair? I mean, that's the platform. You need to talk to somebody in a chair. Like
the impact of rolling into that room the first time, it's like bang. Okay.
Yeah. That's one thing that stands out to me about the psychologist that I was assigned. He was perfectly nice, but he would walk in and he wanted to talk about you know, remodeling his basement. And it just, he was not, he was trying to relate to me because I have a construction background, but he wasn't getting it. And let's switch to the right. Even bigger picture, I think it would be really cool. I want to get the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation to partner with one of these apps like BetterHelp or something like that, and offer clinical services to people in chairs. You know, because that's something that, you know, you can do with an app on your phone. And you know, an initiative like that, like a company like BetterHelp, they should recruit therapists in chairs for that kind of initiative.
There's an idea. Part-time job.
You know,
I think the biggest thing with that is the cost, though. Is I'd love to do it. $200 a session. Damn, I mean, come on.
That's the thing. And that's what the Reeve Foundation is great about, is the NIH grants and stuff in DC. So if they could maybe get it funded.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a 30-second break.
That is a great idea. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, you know, I would love to get more mental help to people in chairs, because it is mental health is something that is lacking overall, but particularly for us in chairs.
Well, I like the idea of having the option of a paralyzed therapist. The option.
Yes.
I mean, I would click that off right away. Because you spend half your time trying to figure out your therapist, if they're in tune with it, they even get a clue of what you're talking about, you know. So.
And you know, and they can, you know, people are great at being empathetic, but there's just no replacement for somebody that lives it.
My favorite
All
one is
right.
my favorite one is, oh yeah, how much does it cost you to go when you go pee? It costs you money to go pee? Yeah, here, let me give you this side of the story.
All right, we're going to bilateral overhead press. Oh, I just looked at the time. I'm sorry, guys. All right, go ahead and take a break, shake that out. Got a little chatty today and time got away from me. I'm going to start stretching and warming down, but cooling down. I understand if anybody needs to hop off because of time. So we're going to go ahead and stretch right arm across. I will email you about the Apple Watch. We will get that out today or tomorrow. Sorry, we have been very busy. And switch back to the left. All right. Well, thanks for joining, guys. I like the live format. It's nice to be able to talk to you guys and interact a little bit. So thanks for joining. And as always, all feedback is appreciated.